You know what to do.
I do know what to do. That's at the end. All right. So usually the saying is, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. But what happens when life doesn't give you lemons and it gives you potatoes? Right. What happens in your life when life gives you something you don't expect, such as potatoes? How will you respond to the situation? How will you react to the situation? Manila, Philippines, it's located right there in Philippines. There was a 5.3 magnitude earthquake. Thousands were killed. Cities were devastated. Millions of hearts destroyed. And their resourcefulness, their drive for life, their resilience turned a somewhat horrible, devastating situation into one of joy, into one of love, into one of positivity, into one where people could work together. And this all happened because they all worked together. And our generation, while they're worrying about where to find their next meal, where to find their next water source, where to find shelter for the night, we're worrying about the classes we're experiencing, the jobs we're experiencing. I think overall our generation really needs to find out what really matters in our life. That maybe it's not the final end product of the grades or the paycheck. It's the it's the whole process, the whole journey of experiencing the classes and the job. There's one more page. And I think a really good quote to demonstrate this is by Joseph Wirthlin. He said, sometimes we make the process more complicated than we need to. We will never make a journey of 1,000 miles by fretting about how long it will take or how hard it will be. We make the journey by taking each day step by step and then repeating it again and again until we reach our destination. I think this is a really impactful quote. All right, so potatoes. What the heck is a potato? All right, so potato, it can be pronounced potato or potato. Same with tomato or No, that's just the same. All right, but also it has two definitions. One is a starchy plant. That's one of the most important products and helps us. Also, it's a saying Philip uses, even though he's not here, as dumb and incompetent. Hashtag Phil Sayings for life. Wish he was here, but he's not. So that's also it. So I have a cool story to talk about. Getting all the supplies, it took me around 40 minutes. I went to like 6 different websites. I went to different YouTube tutorials. I went to different Wikipedia sites and different pages, and I figured out all my supplies. So I went with 2 potatoes. These are 2 copper strips, 2 zinc strips, and then connecting wires, and then a LED clock. So that took me a little bit. It took me some time to find, and I went to Home Depot to get all my supplies and get all this stuff. Let me tell you something. Home Depot is a scary place. I'm pretty sure the next night I had nightmares. I don't remember my dreams, but I had nightmares about going to the place and talking to people. Because while I'm building a potato clock, the people there are building nuclear reactors and building all these crazy stuff, and I'm building potato clocks. So it was not good at all. It was very scary. I was happy to get out of the store with in one piece. I was okay. So it was crazy. So I go into the Home Depot store and I asked the salesperson. I said, where can I find some copper strips? Because that was some of the supplies I needed. And he responded with, and I'm not even joking, this is basically word for word, not paraphrasing, basically word for word. He responded with, well, we have 42 different types of copper strips, depending on size, length, shape, intensity, and we also have Decofrost self-adhesive decorative strips that are great for copper strips. I don't know if you need that or if you need a different variation or whatever. I wish I could have saw my face, because my face was, it was crazy. It was unbelievable how much stuff there was. It was crazy. So I was able to eventually find the correct aisle, but I'm walking down the aisles and I see this. What is this? Half the things that I needed were on the top shelf, and look at me, I'm short. I don't even reach half the things I needed. So it was completely horrible. It was a very tough experience, and I had to use a ladder, so that was scary. There was just a side ladder right here, so I jumped on it. All right, so I made it out of Home Depot, and it was tough, but I realized, all right, so these are not all the supplies I need. I still needed this LED clock that wasn't at Home Depot. So I went to Walmart, and I needed some supplies. I also went to get some shopping stuff, because sometimes I shop for my mom. So, all right, so yeah. Okay. So it ended the total dollar value. It wasn't all for this project. It was $40.82. So there were some supplies for the house, and then the LED clock and a couple other stuff. So it was $40.82, and I go to pay. I take my credit card and swipe the credit card, and it said, all right, enter your PIN for a debit card. And I said, well, I don't want to do debit card, I want to do credit card. So I hit cancel. And then it said, all right, cancel payment. So I'm like, all right, let me swipe it again. So I swiped it, and I said, let me hit the green button. So I hit the green enter button, and what it did, it said invalid payment. So I asked the cashier, I said, well, what's happening? This isn't working. It should be being able to do credit card. And she said, we changed our policy, we can't pay with credit card. And that was weird, because I am 100% sure you can pay with credit card. It took me, I asked my dad later on, but he said that you had to go through a couple more steps, like change payment option and then go to credit card and all that stuff. So this lady's telling me I cannot do something which I'm 100% you can do, and this was a really tough time in my life. It happened a couple weeks ago. It was tough. I was pretty frazzled and I was kind of stressed out, and I didn't really have the patience to explain to the lady, I'm sure we can, there must be a different way. So what happened was I told her, well, let me just put these items to the side for right now, and maybe I can come back and get them, maybe I can call my dad, or I'll do something. And something happened at that moment where I'm extremely frazzled, kind of upset, a little annoyed with this lady that she's telling me this. And something happened that was so impactful, and it changed the rest of my week, it changed the rest of my day, and it was incredible. So there's the couple behind me, and they're seeing all this trouble that I'm going through, and they said something that seriously changed my entire week. They said, I'll pay for that. So here I am in line, completely frazzled, and they're deciding to pay for it. $40, that's a lot of money, and they're deciding to pay for it. And it was an incredible experience, because everywhere around us, there was a couple of people behind us, the cashier could feel this connection we had, could feel this connection that was a physical, emotional connection with a complete stranger, someone I didn't know. And it was an incredible experience. So I went home, I thought about what happened for a second, and you know what, it felt so empowering to feel that even with I'm in such a frazzled emotional state, there are people that are looking out for me, there are people helping me even that I don't know. And so I thought, well, what if I just thought about just getting the supplies, going through the process of getting them, and then just leaving? What would have happened? When I went to the store, I was excited to buy all the supplies, I was excited to go through the process. If I didn't focus on the journey of going through the supplies, would that have situation happened? What happens if I went through it as just finding the end goal of the situation, all right, get the supplies and go? Would my situation been different? We don't know. All right. So the next part of the potato clock, this is what I had to make. The next part of this is the clock. So it took me a while to get all the cords together, it took me a while to do all this stuff, but once I figured it out, you put in the last connector, and the clock comes up at 12 o'clock, you know, the classic reset time of a clock. So it's cool, it's working, sweet. So it came up, and it's the classic time of a clock, but it's really interesting because right now it is 2:50 and 30 seconds, and on this clock it says 12 o'clock. You see, that's different, right? Why would that clock, even though it's the classic reset time, all that in that entire potato clock's world, all it knows right now is it's 12 o'clock. But we think it's 2:50. All right, so time, what is time? Seriously, what is time? All right, time is a man-made invention. Time is created by humans to track our progress throughout history. But since time is man-made, does time actually exist? Because since time is made by us, in the spiritual world, in the world not one-dimensional, in the spiritual world, time does not exist. The only moment happening is right now. That is the only moment that has happened through all history, is the moment of now. All right, 10 minutes ago was the moment of now, and now we're experiencing 10 minutes now into the future of now. So all these moments of the past, the present, and the future, they're all like pearls. They're all on your necklace, and they're all a huge string of pearls, all connected together to make the time of now. And it's the way we think of this is, since now is happening at this exact moment, we view situations from different perspectives. That's how we change, that's how we think something happened in the past, like the 1700s. That's how we think that has happened. However, now, what is happening right now is our perspective changes. So what happened before is what we think happened before. What happens now is what's happening now. And what happened in the future, or 10 seconds from now, is what we will think will happen. So since now is the only moment in history, when we understand that now of what happening is right now, when we understand that, then our journey through life will be much more valued, much more enriching, and much more joyful. Because instead of, exactly like this quote, instead of getting to the end of the day and saying, all right, the day's over, let's start the next day, you're experiencing every part of your day, where is it? Step by step. It's somewhere on here. Yeah, step by step. Once we know that we're now experiencing every moment of our day step by step, our journey becomes much more valued and much more enjoyable. All right, I would like everyone to close your eyes for a second. All right, I'm going to play this song. I would like everyone to close your eyes for a second. Hold on, let me get this up. Oh, there might be a 15-second ad, but you know what? We'll roll with it. So if you hear Kentucky Fried Chicken, that's not part of it. All right.
Here's 2 pieces of good advice. Number 1, switch to Geico and you can save hundreds. Number 2, cook fish for lunch in the company microwave every day. This was her first.
Stay. Geico. Call.
Well, don't put fish in the microwave.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right.
Click today to see how much you can save.
All right. Can everyone close their eyes again? All right. We'll go tonight. All right. So I'd like you to think for a second. What has happened in your previous experiences in your life that has led you to this moment? What is happening right now that will lead you to what will happen in your life? What will happen that will lead you to new heights and to new experiences, into what you will become? You can open your eyes again. It's a nice song. All right. Well, basically, the reason I did that is basically because our journey throughout our entire life has led us to this moment. For me, this TED Talk, what is happening at this exact moment, my entire life experiences and my entire journey of life has led me to where I am right now. And that's incredible to think that something that happened to me 10 years ago is helping me shape who I am today and what I talk about and who I talk to and how I talk to people. So I think all of us overall need to focus on the journey of our life and with the time we have left and focusing on each moment day by day, step by step, each moment, because we need to adapt to the situations life presents us. Because if life presents us, say, potatoes instead of what we always think that life presents us like lemons, if we start to realize that those potatoes are viewed as something that is something different and we take it a moment by a moment and we take it by what is happening now, our journey in life will be much more enriching and valued. So overall, it's not just knowing and doing in situations, it is reacting and joy and your love of enjoying every moment step by step. Thank you.